Amen. Please sit down.
Thanks.
Aniket,
Yes.
please introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is ANIKET DNYANESHWAR HIRDE. I am from Thane, Maharashtra. I did my schooling from DAV Public School, Thane, post which I joined IIT Bombay for a dual degree course in energy engineering. IIT Bombay was actually a life-defining moment for me. It provided me exposure to varied activities, and in my final year, I got to work on a really excited project, which was analyzing the feasibility of Hyperloop in India. Hyperloop. in India.
Hyperloop.
Yes. After graduating from IIT Bombay, I joined Bain, which is a management consulting firm. I worked there for 1.5 years, and since February of last year, I have been preparing for civil services. Apart from my academic background, I am an automobile enthusiast. I like taking road trips, and I also like to do mobile photography.
Okay. When did you complete your studies?
In 2019, sir.
2019. You got MTech.
BTech and MTech both. It
Both.
was a dual degree course.
Okay. Dr. Sinha?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You were also chosen for the International Youth Exchange Program to China.
Yes.
This was in 2018.
Yes, sir.
So, how long did you spend in China?
Sir, it was a 12-day program.
20-day program.
12 day.
12-day program.
Yes.
Okay. So, during your interaction with Chinese students, what did you learn about?
Sir, first of all, the program was spread across diverse sectors, right from visiting some companies to the universities. While interacting with the students and people in general, few observations which I made were one, that the people are very they value time a lot. Then they are also very open in terms of accepting other cultures. And the second thing was patience, which I noticed a lot in those students.
No, in specific to, you were an Indian student. So, that identity. In relation to India and China, what did you notice about their opinion about India?
So their opinion about India was positive because the universities that we went to had similar exchange program where students from that university came to India as well. So with regards to research, it was positive, but with regards to maybe social indicators, it was not that positive as compared to China.
Okay. So, there is a general feeling that there is some kind of a trust deficit between the people of India and China. This is what experts talk about. Did you notice that at the student level?
Sir, my interaction was limited only to 2-3 hours with the students. So during that time, I did not feel any trust deficit as such.
Okay. So, let me take you to something which is there at the present. We have a border problem with China. Many people say that the root cause of this border problem is the trust deficit between the two countries. What is your opinion?
Sir, trust deficit might be one of the aspects, but I feel there are other aspects also. Like China is trying to stretch its dominance in the Asian region. So, and India is one of the powers which can challenge that. So, the border issues is kind of showing the dominance, and in addition to that, it also needs support of the of Pakistan for the ports for the Indian Ocean. So, I think trust deficit might be one aspect, but there are other aspects.
There is a trust deficit. Why is this trust deficit according to you?
Sir, sorry, I am not able to.
You don't know. Okay. Last question. Have you heard of BRICS?
Yes, sir.
What does it stand for?
Sir, it is an acronym giving the names of the 5 countries which are part of it.
Okay. Which are these 5 countries?
Sir, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa.
South Africa. So, today in the paper there is a news item that India will take part in BRICS summit. Now, where is this BRICS summit being held?
Sir, it is being held virtually actually.
Where?
China is hosting it.
China is hosting. So, we have a border problem, and not much solution has been found, nothing has been resolved much. Do you think it is proper for India to take part in the BRICS summit?
Sir, border issues with China is one of the aspects of our long relationship. BRICS is a forum where we can deal with other aspects of the relationship and along with other countries as well. So I feel yes, India should take part in the BRICS summit and in fact leverage it to maybe solve the border issues as well, because we also have some leverage.
How can we do that?
Yes, sir, considering the recent Russia-Ukraine conflict and our relationship with Russia, that we have not budged to the US pressure, we have some leverage with Russia as well, which we can use to solve the issues on the border of India-China.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Aniket, you come from the state of Maharashtra.
Yes, sir.
Farmers are demanding legal guarantee for MSP. In the context of Maharashtra, what is your opinion? Is it justified demand? What do you feel about it?
Sir, I feel the guarantee is already given by the government.
Legal guarantee means they want an act.
Sir, I feel considering the scenario of agriculture in Maharashtra, where farmers the farmer society is one of the largest, MSP can be given legal guarantee. But what I also feel that it should be for diversity of crops and not only for few crops, because considering that currently only cotton and sugar is being focused upon, if MSP is given only for few crops, that might lead to skewed agriculture.
But do you feel that farmer suicide are caused by farmers not getting remunerative price?
So that is one.
Is that the reason for suicides in Maharashtra?
So there are multiple aspects actually, because only 18% of the agricultural land is irrigated in Maharashtra. Most of it is rain-fed, and when the rains fail, the farmers don't get their crops.
So if it's not a question of getting a remunerative price, then other reasons are there for farmer suicide.
So that is one aspect I feel, because not all the farmers get to sell their produce at the MSP. Most of them sell to private traders because of lack of infrastructure.
In sugarcane also you have what is called FRP.
Yes, sir.
So farmers feel very secured in going in for sugarcane and wheat.
Yes, sir. So in sugarcane, the FRP is present, and there are also rules to implement it very strictly. Like the Sugar Commission can even confiscate the properties of sugar mills. So that is the reason farmers are going for sugarcane.
Yes, so FRP is guaranteed.
Yes, sir, and it is also being enforced.
So do you think it's a good practice?
Sir, I think farmers should be given MSP, but as I said, not only for one crop is what I feel.
Okay. Now let's come to your subject.
Yes, sir.
Energy science you have done. We are, gradually shifting towards renewable energy.
Yes, sir.
We have made some commitment in Glasgow summit.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of that, and do you think that is achievable?
Yes, sir. The commitments are the Panchamrit commitments, which are Honorable Prime Minister made. I think the commitments are achievable.
What are the commitments? First.
So there are 5 of them. One is net carbon neutrality by 2070.
No, let's concentrate only on energy portion.
Okay. So the one of the commitment is 50% of the energy production in 2030 through non-conventional renewables. Then 500 gigawatt through non-fossil fuel based fuels, and then we are also reducing the carbon intensity.
Forget that.
Okay, so
Let's concentrate on the energy portion.
so these two are the only aspect with regards to energy.
So what do you think? This is achievable?
Sir, it is achievable, but we need a strong push for it. For example,
No, you are just guessing. You have done energy science, so I want you to tell me with facts and figures whether this is achievable or not.
yes, sir. So the target is.
What is the position as of now?
Yes. So currently we are around 100 gigawatt of renewables in approximately 400 gigawatt of total installed capacity. The target is to go to around 300 gigawatt of solar by 2030. We are currently at around 70. We are majorly lacking in the rooftop solar segment, and if we want to reach the 300 gigawatt target,
We'll talk about it during your feedback.
Okay.
My next and last question. Do you think Government of India is doing enough for encouraging startups, or would you like some changes in the policy?
sir, to encourage the startups, I think it would be a gradual process, and we are doing currently enough is what I feel, because our unicorns have the number of unicorns have increased year on year. So in addition to that, the new labor laws or the fixed term employment which is recently introduced, all of these will help again going forward.
What are the taxation incentives? Are you aware?
Sir, I am aware of the taxation incentive, but I am not able to recall the figures currently.
All right. Thank you. Aradhana.
So Aniket, you do photography, huh?
Yes.
What is mobile? From mobile means from in motion or from the camera, mobile camera?
From mobile camera.
Okay. And what is your favorite subjects in photography?
Ma'am, I usually do landscape photography.
Okay, very nice. And you travel a lot for that?
Yes, ma'am.
So what are the key elements in taking a good photograph?
Ma'am, photograph is is capturing of light. So the key element is how well do you capture the light that is being reflected by any object.
And
That requires the balancing of exposure, the shutter speed, ISO, and if you balance it all, then you get a very good photograph.
But to get a good picture, you need more than just light.
Ma'am, there is an aspect of post processing as well, post photograph processing.
What about composition of the photograph? Like one of the photographers I know who got a Padma Shri, he says, no use taking the Himalayas unless you have the clouds there. So
Yes.
it's basically a composition. Okay, well, very interesting. I like photography too. Okay, your mother was superintendent of midday meal, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
So, are you familiar with the issues in this scheme?
Yes, ma'am. I am familiar.
So, you think that it should be recast, or you think it's good as it is?
Ma'am, there are some improvements which we can do, but definitely the scheme is good in improving the.
So, what is the scheme doing right now, and what improvements do you want to make?
Ma'am, currently this scheme is providing one cooked meal to the children from class 1st to 8th, and it covers government school as well as government aided school. The improvements which I feel should be done is one, that the government aided school, especially in urban areas where my mother works, the children do not opt for the midday meal, and because they are from good family background, and in spite of that, the meal is provided which gets wasted.
That's a waste. And what about the controversy about what items to include? There's a lot of controversy about egg. No, it's a nutritious thing. So, what is this controversy, and do you have any views on that?
Yes, ma'am. The controversy is regarding majorly introduction of egg, because it is considered as non-veg by some of the communities.
So, what should be done? Should it be introduced or not?
Ma'am, I think egg is a good source of protein and we can introduce it. And government has also made substitute options for the people who don't want to eat eggs. So I don't see a problem in it.
And the issue is not for the people who don't want to eat egg substitute. I think the issue is that people who don't want to eat egg don't want anybody to eat an egg.
Ma'am, that is infringing upon the rights of the other people. I don't.
Well, we tell people what to eat, what not to eat. Do you agree with that? Government telling people to eat or not to eat?
Ma'am, government is not restricting anyone from not to eat. We are in fact providing them with the eggs. If anyone doesn't want, then they can opt.
No, in general. What was this controversy about JNU and Ram Navami? Wasn't there an issue on food choice only?
Sorry, ma'am, I'm not.
Okay, never mind. Okay, you have done I was hearing when you were mentioning a double degree at the same time you did it, BTech and MTech?
Yes, ma'am.
How is that possible?
So, ma'am, the way MTech course is structured usually is that first year there are courses and the final year there is a thesis. The way this dual degree is structured in IIT, in every semester we have some of the courses of that first year of MTech. So, by the time we reach fourth year, we have completed the theoretical courses and the fifth year is the
Okay.
thesis.
So that is different. Now in the new education policy, you can do 2 full-time courses together.
Yes.
So how will that be done, to your mind? How can that be done? The two and they can be different subjects totally. You
Yes,
think it's
ma'am.
practical, or it's an opportunity, or it's impractical?
Ma'am, I think it's a step in the right direction because it will help a person gain multiple.
It's a step,
viewpoints.
but how is it going to be practically done?
Yes. So the problems are like scheduling the timetables, coordinating across universities, and also the
Load on the candidate, on the student?
Ma'am, it is voluntary. So if a student wants, then only he can pursue. It's not compulsory.
Of course, but there will be a lot of load.
Yes.
Okay.
And the third aspect I feel would be the entrance barrier. Like even in IIT, there are some preliminary courses which you need to do to take a specific course. So if you want, I can suggest some solutions to it as well.
Tell me, I'm asking you.
Yes. So, ma'am, first thing which I thought was there should be a centralized platform which gives the open courses to all the students across universities so that a common timetable can be charted out. And in addition to that, these preliminary courses which few professors mention, they should be well mentioned in advance and also give the intake which is usually lacking, which I have seen in IITs as well. And the third thing should be this shouldn't lead to maybe competition where the students with more diverse background are given preference in maybe jobs, and then this becomes a burden as we just discussed. So these are the three aspects.
But the person will do it if he gains something out of it. Has to be related to the afterlife of a student. It wouldn't be for pure love of knowledge only,
Yes, ma'am.
It has to happen. Okay, you come from Thane, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is Thane's claim to fame as far as the economy is concerned?
Ma'am, one is the Thane-Belapur road belt, which is the industrial belt. The second is Thane is also known as City of the Lakes. And the third is the Yeur Hills, which we have, which are also known as lungs of the Mumbai.
It's not textile, Bhiwandi, Thane district I'm talking about.
Ma'am, textile was a prominent exporting hub during the British time, the Mumbai and the Thane region.
No, Bhiwandi has been a textile hub.
Bhiwandi, yes, ma'am. Sorry, I was.
It's in Thane district,
Yes,
isn't it?
It is. Yes.
So in a place like Bhiwandi or industrial hub, what are the hazards that can be there? Health hazards, shall we say?
Ma'am, one thing which I have also experienced is that when you cross the Bhiwandi area, there is a lot of claustrophobic feeling which comes.
No, apart from psychological claustrophobia, there is actually, in real fact, there is a certain health issue which is very, very high in Bhiwandi. Are you aware of what it is?
No, ma'am. Sorry.
HIV/AIDS.
Okay.
Well, any idea how it could have happened, come about?
Ma'am, that. Ma'am, no, I'm not aware.
Okay, never mind. So now there's a standoff between the Maharashtra government and the central government on lots of points of friction. So, do you think there's an issue of accountability of the government, of the state government, or it's an issue of a federal constitution becoming unitary? You understand my question?
Yes, I understand. Ma'am, the friction points are the election of the speaker or the use of central agencies that is being challenged. So, I think it might be the combination of both of them, not one exactly. Empirically, it has been seen the agencies use has increased.
If the Home Minister has been making money,
Yes,
and the trail leads to him, should he not be held accountable?
he should be.
The
ma'am.
local police will never hold him accountable.
Yes, I agree.
So what do you have to say on that? Anything further? So that is perfectly right. So why do you say there's something wrong in what the center is doing?
No, I'm not saying, ma'am, that the center is doing wrong.
I'm debating.
Yes. So, as you said, Home Minister should definitely be held accountable. That is being done correctly. That is the accountability part. The second part is like the raids which are happening on various MLAs of Maharashtra, like the recent the drugs
Spokesperson.
case. Yes, spokesperson and drugs case which happened. So these are both the issues which are being made political, is what I feel. Both accountable.
Everything is becoming political. Shah Rukh Khan's son on that became political. Everything is political.
Yes, ma'am.
So is it healthy? When real issues get submerged, then I mean, like, do you think the police commissioner who has headed the force of Mumbai now says he will not get justice? He should be tried outside Mumbai, outside Maharashtra.
Ma'am, I think such political rivalry turning into using of agencies and this is not healthy.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes,
Now you've done energy science, huh?
yes, ma'am.
Do you agree that we have been looking at the production side? What things should we be doing on the demand side? Or on the side of actual conservation? We're talking about non-renewable, this, that, but on this side of depressing demand for energy, or shall we say non-renewable energy. So what should we be doing on that?
Ma'am, if I understand the question correctly, you are talking how to generate demand for the renewable energy.
No, I'm not talking that. I'm saying that our policies are focused only on the supply side.
Okay.
We should be looking at the demand side also. Do you agree with me? If so, then.
Yes, ma'am. Only then the supply chain would be complete.
But are we focusing adequately on that side?
Ma'am, I think we need to focus more.
So what should we do on that side?
Ma'am, if we take the example of solar, for example, currently for rooftop solar, the limit of net metering is only 500 kilowatt, which is not profitable for the installer. So removing these limits and then also ensuring that the policies are actually stable for next 4 to 5
Correct,
years.
positive. But in terms of viable size, it will have to be a community sort of a thing, a pooled thing, because individual requirements will be smaller, won't they?
Yes, ma'am, but still, even if it is rooftop solar, then 500 kilowatt is a very small limit.
But what about disincentives in forms of tariff?
Sorry, ma'am, I didn't.
What about disincentives in the form of tariffs?
Yes, that's the one reason that rooftop solar is not being promoted. For example, the after 500 kilowatt, the tariff which the solar provider gets is less than what they have to pay for taking the electricity from discoms. So all these issues need to be sorted out.
My last question: should India have followed? You've been to China, so when you first think of China as family planning, should India have followed China's family planning policies? It is said now, UN had predicted that we will overtake China by 2027. Now, seeing the growth rates of both the countries, it is expected maybe as early as next year or 2024. So, do you think India should have gone the China way in the one-child norm and strictly enforcing the policies?
Ma'am, I don't think we should have gone that way because even China has reversed its one child policy.
That is because they have reached that level where you don't have. It's a unviable level now. We are way away from that.
Right, but had we followed it during that time, then probably we also might have achieved it somewhere around 2030.
So, are you saying we should have done it at that point of time or not?
No, ma'am. I think the way we did it was correct, and I think to control.
So we will keep having our burgeoning population, which will eat up everything, and talk of demographic dividend and rising unemployment.
Ma'am, the thing is, the way China did it was very coercive. The way India
No,
is.
I'm just saying a one-child norm. No, actually the target. Okay, we'll discuss it later. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Aniket, how do you pronounce your name? Full name?
Sir, it is ANIKET DNYANESHWAR HIRDE.
Okay. And what does Aniket mean?
Sir, it is a combination of two words, A and Niket. A means no, Niket means house. So, Aniket is someone who doesn't have his own house, but the whole universe is his house.
Okay. Have you heard of the term smart cities?
Yes, sir.
Give me some input about smart cities.
Sir, smart cities are being promoted by government, where the cities would have Wi-Fi or well-marked roads, integrated traffic control system, and such sort of things, where citizens would get to use the technological aspect while getting the services of the cities.
What is the name of the mission which has been launched and when was it launched? Are you aware?
Sir, if I'm not wrong, it was Smart Cities Mission, which was launched in 2015.
National Smart Cities Mission.
Okay,
But
thank you.
do you think this is the way to go? In your opinion, would you not consider that this is creating islands of affluence and leading to further imbalance?
Sir, we need to start somewhere, is what I feel, because we need to go ahead technologically. Starting with these big cities would also provide some experience to be implemented in small cities. And I don't think it would create imbalance, because it will eventually trickle down to small tier 2 and tier 3 cities, is what I feel.
No, in the larger perspective, rural migration, will it not encourage rural migration and put further stress on these cities?
Sir, it might to some extent because the city's life would improve. But there are other ways to stop rural migration as well, like promoting footloose industries or local food processing industries. So we can stop that, I feel.
Moving on to another topic. Max Weber on bureaucracy. Which year did he expound his famous thesis on bureaucracy? Are you aware? It's a very important year in the sense we are celebrating some anniversary.
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware of it.
We are celebrating the 100th year, right? It was 1922 when his book Economy and Society came out. But you would be aware of the characteristics of bureaucracy which he laid out?
Yes, sir. If I am not wrong, he said that bureaucracy should be neutral and they should work for the people impartially by not letting their emotions come into the play.
He listed out 6 features of the bureaucracy. What you are telling me is a very generalized view. Have you actually read about these 6 features?
Sir, I'm not able to recollect.
So it's been 100 years since he has propounded his theory. Do you think it needs a change?
Sorry, sir, I'll have to read again.
Okay. Farmer suicides in Maharashtra. Maharashtra has been occupying the first position for the last 5 years. Why so?
Sir, I feel the reasons are multifold over here. One is that, as I previously mentioned, only 18% area is irrigated. So the Vidarbha region is majorly rain-fed, where majority of the suicides occur. The second is Vidarbha is also the cotton growing belt, and they grow BT cotton, where the seeds need to be procured every time from the company, which are costlier. And in addition to that, there are lack of auxiliary income activities to the farmers in that area. So all of these lead to economic burden on the farmers.
You're an auto enthusiast.
Yes, sir.
Tell me something about driverless cars, which are very much in the news these days.
So these are the cars which are using artificial intelligence and machine learning to drive themselves. Currently, they are not being done in India, but in the US, even Uber taxis are being self-driven cars.
Do you think they have a future in India, given our total lack of civic sense while driving, lack of traffic sense, people coming at you left, right and center?
Yes, sir. The way they work is they follow the demarcations on the road. So maybe not in the current scenario, but in the future, like the Mumbai-Delhi highway or Mahasamruddhi Marga in Maharashtra, they are access controlled highways with well demarcated lanes. There, these cars can work.
You come from a state where the biggest festival centers around Ganeshji.
Yes, sir.
what is the slogan or what is the cry which is heard most often?
Ganpati Bappa Moria.
That's right. So, across the mythological spectrum, you find that the gods have, most of them, have human faces. But here you have an elephant head. How did that elephant head come to be?
Sir, I have heard a story about it. If you want, I can tell.
The
but-
mythological basis, can you acquaint me with the mythological basis?
Sir, would you like me to tell that story?
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, it was that once upon a time, Ganeshji's father, the god Shiva, came to home and he could not be attended very quickly. And that's why he got angry and then he chopped off his son's head. But then goddess Parvati begged him to bring him back, and that's why he installed the head of an elephant.
Right, thank you, Aniket. We'll have a detailed discussion. Chairman will inform you.
Okay.
Aniket, please wait for a few minutes. We'll call you for feedback.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.